Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. How are you doing there, Boken? Nice to see you. Looking good, my man. Yes, this is the Deadman game, you can see by the title there. We'll be getting started here in just a moment. There we go. He sent me an email saying, an email saying, cheeky bastard. I did not see that coming. Well, I totally did not see that coming. You're like, son of a bitch. I don't know, maybe he did, maybe he didn't. There's always that sort of, in-between there. I imagine he would have, like, suspected it to some degree, but then, well, he was there a few days before. We could have potentially launched yesterday. We could have launched today, you know what I mean? We could have done it the day after. It's like, yeah, you're gonna suspect it, but you mad bastard. It's funny. But yeah, you can't say, oh, I expected that, because of course you expected. To a degree, but how can you plan for something like that? I don't particularly mind it. We're going to be sweeping the base again. We're going to be all escorted, so we'll try and pull them back out. I like the emotes there, that's pretty cool. Right, so moving into the 2nd of February. I was going to attack Manila, but I decided against it. I decided it was worthwhile to give the men additional rest. I'm going to be rather intrigued to see what it does in Coral Sea. So we take control of Zamboanga. That's actually a bit of a pain in the ass, because I think I have to garrison that now. That's actually a bit of a pain in the ass. The last turn we did land our paratroopers in Burma, and he had moved his AVG out literally the same day. We did see his carriers attack in the south, which is interesting. He did lay some mines out here. So far we haven't been blown up, but that's nice. Right, okay, so we see I-155 here engaging. Now, these British DDs are probably the worst to encounter in terms of ASW. We are in deep, as far as I'm aware. We are taking some damage here. If she survives, she can head back to Singapore if needs be. We'll see. Crossing the fingers here, survive. Taking on some water there, so they are taking damage. He did employ one carrier to strike at Tulagi. He did lose between 3 F4 F3s and apparently a 4th was reported in the intelligence. But he struck at Tulagi. He didn't really cause much in the way of damage, if a little bit of damage to the airfield, but, well, this is the benefit of using float planes. So the Express here, that's a lot of DDs here. I say bad. Right, so a few hits there. So see 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't imagine we took major damage, but then this is the thing, the British are damn good at the SW. Okay, so we'll have her retirement to be repaired, then, depending on the damage. Likely she'll want to retire then. He looks to be using the SW outside Colombo then, to protect. So we see SSO-23 here. Right, our patrol boat is attacking the O-23. Now, this is shallow water, so even with one depth charge, they should be able to cause some pretty nasty damage. We should have a naval guard unloaded here today in Medic, which would be nice. We did have a engineer unit and artillery unit arrive at this base yesterday to the mountain hex. And we should have the rest of the forces arrive there, so ideally he does not attack before we have our forces in position, but I don't think he's going to attack. He lost a lot of his AV. We do have a tank regiment moving in here. I'm actually telling the torpedo boats over here at Oosthaven to take a little bit of a unit, a little bit of an aviation unit to land it here just south of this position. So only 2 hits there, which is, fair enough. Not the worst. We do have DDs patrolling in that area on ASW as well, though. We should be landing our division of Pegu today, which is very nice. He didn't have any naval search, so let's hope that's a surprise. I do wonder if he's going to venture deeper into the Coral Sea. I'm not convinced. We'll see. He's, I don't know, well, sweeping quite a few mines there. That's quite a few mines at Kwajalein there. Very fortunate that we had some coastal minesweepers in position already. Quite a few mines. I hate mines. It always really makes me worry. Reporting ships then near New Talk, we do see what look to be the carriers there. Well, they're still lingering around in daytime. He looks like he potentially has ventured a little bit further north. I can't quite tell as of yet. He might look towards potentially hitting Shortlands with an airstrike, I'm not too sure. We don't really have that much assets in the area. Below Ribal. Ribal, sorry, not Ribal. So I'll be intrigued. Right, we are hitting Midland's airfield here today. I do need to make sure we do get some good hits on the airfield, so we'll hope for the best. Interesting enough, we saw a floatplane damage there, which is intriguing. So he has Catalinas here then. These must be the same Catalinas that were here beforehand. Yeah, that looks pretty damn good actually. 8 airbase hits, 5 supply hits there on the airbase, 22 hits there on the runway. That's pretty damn nice. Catalina. So it looks like they might actually be the ones that we saw originally. So we damaged 2 of them. It makes sense, because why would you fly them back in here? A few more hits on the runway. Right, Ida is going to continue here. I imagine our forces will actually be in position, but he may yet move. He's doubling back to head towards Hong Kong and Canton. So we'll see what happens. Few more hits. But he's in combat mode, which is good, slows him down. Right, more Eaters hitting him up. Yeah, 3 damage here supposedly. I don't know, you wouldn't move more in there. Maybe we just didn't know about them. So we do see he is actually hitting Shanghai. I did decide to keep 1 squadron here on 30% cap. We do have Tojos, we have a Key 43-1C, which must be flying out from this base out here, actually. But these guys are unescorted. We have 6 Tojos. We should be pretty good to go, to be honest. Tojo from behind to shoot down a Blenheim. That's another Blenheim down. Key 43. Blenheim damaged. And this is actually pretty good for us that we actually get an opportunity to hit there. So, I don't mind it. Hey, didn't have Flatbird. Good to have you, my man. He probably moved them in to do a cheeky torpedo strike. Likely so. I'm surprised that they're not staying in this. And there was 30% of the Zero Squadron here, so I'm surprised that they haven't actually responded to this, but ah well. He can't cause that much in the way of damage. We do have flak here as well. Yes, another Blenheim down. Would have been nice to shoot them all down. I don't think the Zero's actually engaged as of yet. The Zeros you have in the cannon should do very well. I mean, the Tojo has a decent armament. As far as it goes, it's another Blenheim down. This is actually quite good. He doesn't have that much in Rangoon, so I'll take it. Another Blenheim down. It's good experience for the Tojos. 1 driven away, coming back around. 1 drops out. Yep, Blenheim damaged. Another Blenheim down. Blenheim down. Tojo turns away. Tojo oil leak. Just 2 more. Come on, we can take that. I don't think the Zero's engaged as of yet. Yeah, I do have 30% of the actual Zero Squadron there. We have 2 squadrons of Zeros here. 1 is set to actually sweep out here. 1 is actually here on cap. So, yeah, okay, there we go. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. So we do see a number. We see one of them immediate ball, but that's obviously due to fatigue. But they're flying right overhead. So we'll take the last Blenheim. So there we go. That was quite nice. He may yet have more coming in there, but he gave us an opportunity to shoot down a number of bombers for free, and I'll take that every single day of the week. Must be more there. Maybe he didn't have his escort fly. Maybe he just didn't want to have an escort. Maybe he thought it was just worthwhile flying. I don't know. He might have thought that we would have swept. He might have thought that we only had the 2 squadrons there. Not too sure. Right, so we're moving then from the AM into the PM. That's not bad, Ben. It's not a bad way to start out. Reports of allied ships all over the place. Lots of blue reports there. I-2 detected. Okay. I am ordering the vast majority of the TIE forces to move into the hinterland as well, actually. Into the the interior Burma. Right, so it's hit into Larg again. Okay. There's not that much damage you can actually do here. It's probably coming in higher. Notice that he's actually escorting the SBD Dauntlesses here. So he's trying to knock out the airfield. It's annoying that he hits the supply, but it's not too bad. He's not going to be able to destroy the units, but if he keeps doing this, then okay. He can rearm these, of course. He'll have AKEs somewhere, but yeah, causes hits. Supply base hits sucks. I don't know, it is what it is, really. It's more of a nuisance than anything else. But this is it. I mean, I did feel like it was going to essentially knock out the airfield from the beginning of Interlagi. Right, yep, here we go. We do have our DDs. It seems like he He's wanted to knock out the airfield. He's staying at max distance. He's using one carrier. I imagine he's got other carriers in the area, but they're probably running naval attack and etc. like that, so he might be expecting the Kidderbatai to head down that way. I mean, each day that Kidderbatai has chance to repair is worthwhile. We'll probably have them set out sooner or later, but we'll see that. Right, so we are deliberate attacking over here. Good job it was a deliberate attack, so we see 2 fair Chinese corps over here. We should be able to... so we don't kick them out today. 520 casualties, not too bad. Yeah, so that's pretty close there, actually. I think that's due to the terrain there, so we might need to take some additional forces. But that's a good unit to take on. Right, so we do see 152 Salvo of the 11th Chinese Corps under the 17th Group Army. Now, they're in times free terrain as we are, I think, here. Ideally, I can force them out, and then we can engage them outside. 615, 85, so yeah, we force them to retreat. Still take some casualties from that retreat, which is good. 176 on our side, 1,183 on his side, 54 destroyed. Yeah, so he took a bit of pounding there, so we'll move out to an engage to destroy him. We are shock attacking the elusive war area. Ideally, I can just force this unit to I just want to disintegrate it, please. Yep. Fucking corps of retreats. GCN. Okay, well, I can deal with it there. We'll just go ahead and send another unit to shock attack it. They're really annoying like that, but hey, it was in clear terrain, we shock attacked it. We'll send something else to go ahead and do the same. You'd think they'd just surrender, really. Or be forced to surrender, but Chinese are fickle like that. Okay, so we take that base there. It's another base under our control. Kitavang will be ours today. Take that, thank you very much. Right, so fairly quiet. We should have the division arrive at Pegu today. We haven't seen it unloading, but again, it is my port, so it's not an amphibious unload. They're not landing on the beaches, but they practically are because there's no port there. But it's a friendly hex, so it's not like a opposed landing. I just hope they actually arrive there. I really do need them there. But each day the Imperial Guard division closes in. We do have other divisions moving up. We do have armoured units moving up. We have a lot moving up. So they're beginning their refit over here. Okay. Fairly quiet day. Fairly subdued as far as it goes. We did have a pretty good day, then. He's striking Talagi. He's going to take a lot of that supply out there, which is a pain in the arse. Yeah, I love the fact that I gained that this turn. And then I've started to lose VP from it already, which is a pain in the arse, and I didn't even want that. But he's not daft. He knows that. I'm going to have to get a unit in there. Bit of annoyance. Because I don't want to lose VP from that. I'm going to lose some VP while we get that unit in there. Well, hey-ho. What can you do? So we enter here the 2nd of February. So we'll take a look at the actual aircraft losses. Should be alright on our end. We didn't get a chance to actually shoot his F4Fs, but then again, he came low last time. He's not strafing this time, which is nice. So we'll take a look. So apparently 6 Blenheims, 2 Blenheim 1Fs, or yeah, 1F looks like it. We have a Topsy, a Sally, a Babza, a Tina. He has a Catalina that's lost to Ops. So 4 to 10 there. Would have been nice to see a few more Wildcats go down, but hey. Didn't expect him to come in the second time around at 100 feet. But he did it the first time, and he, I think he regretted that, because he lost quite a few there. Right, we are pulling out a 2nd Rainier Regiment, so there's only 6 support units here, so I could probably just use 1 squadron to pull them out now. We did see the DDs out here on a light cruiser, which is interesting enough. Yes, there we go. We do have 18th Division in place. That's good to see there. So there's still some assault value left above the transports over here, but that's excellent. That's really good. I'm so happy about that. Yeah, the good news is we moved a lot more supply into Pegu directly, and there will be another 1,500 to move in there directly. Are they detected? They are detected now. It's a bit late now, isn't it? I mean, their division's unloaded. And he's actually expended a number of his bombers there, but we are going to have to cap them. Right, so I do have a Zeros and Tojos here. So fatigue's 10, 11. Not even that bad, really. I mean, they were set to sweep, but they still had a little bit of rest there. It looks like they didn't encounter any resistance, so interesting enough. Tojo's over here in great shape. Yeah, they gained experience this turn. That must have been the group that rested. That must have been the group that was on cap. They gained a little bit of experience. Yeah, there we go. That was a cap group. So looking excellent. Looking very nice there. And if we take a look, we do have a JNAF coin moving in there. So the good news is I'm going to be able to actually start to have cap flowing from SunYan, which is going to be great. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, the great news is I've got the division here. It's going to have... there's more more AV to unload yet. I could have probably marched on Rangoon with the TIE forces, but what I'm doing with the TIE forces here is I might even have all the TIE forces. I'm probably going to keep the first RTA here because I would want to make sure I have a garrison on each of these hexes. I'm going to have like units actually control these hexes here. He's marching north, but he doesn't even have that much AV. He knows it's a division. He knows it's suffering with supply, but the thing is it's actually still getting supply there. These units don't need that much. I'm actually marching them north. So we see the 4 units over here. So he's moving over here, then. It's taking him a while. We're going to march into the interior. It'll take a little while, but we'll do it. And it's going to be good, because there's not much I can do about it. We do have our tank regiment, so you can see 14th tank regiment here. So it's got 45. So tomorrow, it will... Yeah, this is where I like here. So tomorrow it'll be here. It'll only move about 30 miles. So it'll have something like 29 miles here then. And then it'll move another 30, and then it'll be here. That's what I like. They move pretty damn quick. Once they get moving, they start to pick up some speed in a way. Because they obviously have these numbers that tick on by. Into the next hex, if that makes sense. Right, so 3rd RTA is moving. The 3rd RTA division is going to take a while. I'll probably use 3rd RTA to end up garrison Rangoon at this rate, really. But that's fine by me. So we do have the Imperial Guard Division marching to the north. We do have the 2 detachments here. Now, they're marching on a major road. So, it's going to take a few days for them to eventually reach this area. But, I mean, I could have them loaded back up. But I don't mind that. I think it's still worthwhile doing. We do have another division heading in here. We have 33rd Division. We have the 15th and 25th Army. So what we'll do then is we'll cap with the zeros. We'll have another division land at Pegu. And they move pretty damn quick as well. They move 4 hexes per turn. Pegu is 7 hexes away, so they'll land next turn as well. So that'll be 2 divisions, a division each day. They're not going to be fully unloaded, but we're going to have essentially 2 divisions there, so we'll make sure to cap them. We do have the light cruisers in there. I do have the light cruiser and torpedo boats over here. I'll tell that to escort. Make sure that unit's still moving there. I have the heavy cruiser over here, which I told the Atago, told her to move into here so she could rearm. So we'll have him follow up. We have a lot of assets in this area. It's a little bit it's a little bit late running the naval search now. I wrote tomorrow, I wanted you yesterday. Yeah, indeed. So see 2 units here. He might feel smart after dodging the bullet over here, but in fairness, what is he doing with them? He's not even doing that much with them. He's not had the chance to be successful with them. We've just been fairly lucky in that regards, really. So I don't mind it. So what I'm going to do here, then... I can't split up the division until it's fully unloaded. Yeah, you can see they got sent to 1 preparation for Rangoon. Okay. So that's a pretty good commander. I don't think I'm going to march. It might be worthwhile marching now, but I think I'm going to wait until we have 2 divisions before we begin marching at least. In regards to Japanese forces. They're going to arrive tomorrow. Probably take 2, maybe a 3rd day event to unload properly. Yeah, exactly, we might do it. Could he be planning to fall back to Kohima and Impal? Impal? However you want to pronounce it. The thing is, when you say planning to fall back, it's not easy. I mean, you have the major roads here, but then there's no roads here. And this is jungles, jungle rough. It'd take a very long time. And I don't exactly plan to march across this. I plan to just move here via amphibious means. And if we take a look over here as well, we've got the rail lines, but the rail lines don't connect. But as far as it goes for falling back, I mean, what can he fall back with? There's 15 units here. There's 2 units here, which we'll be able to take. There's a unit there, 2 units there. 4 here, which is small. We've already attacked that once. And there's 1 unit here. I'm going to have to run reconnaissance further to the north. He doesn't have that much in Burma right now. Just doesn't have that much right now. And you take a look at that. I mean, there's 710 AV here right now. That's not even all the TIE forces. It's not even all of the 18th Division. We're going to have a 2nd Division tomorrow, and the 2 Army headquarters, which is very important. We do have our forces over here. So, the 112th and the 55th Engineer, I'm going to have them. I was considering actually landing them amphibiously here. Let's take a look at the roads. Yeah. Right, what I'm going to do then, because they have supplies, I'm going to have them land amphibiously here at Langsa, and then they can march south to Medan. I do have a amphibious unit over here, which has just finished loading supplies. So cancel loading of supplies. And I mean, we're going to need a regiment to take Sabang, so I might even potentially have them land at Sabang, but I'd rather have 2 regiments is probably about right for that. I could have them land directly at Medan, really. Or I could have them seize this base over here. But I think what I'm going to do then is move them over here to Singkawang. So I'm going to need about 2 Naval Guard units to take Kuching. I do have a Naval Guard unit over here. I would take that oil, but in fairness, I don't have an aviation unit ready to move in immediately, and I don't have a cap ready to move in immediately yet. So we'll hold off on that for the time being. What I'm going to do then is have the 2nd Naval Guard moved over here. And then what we'll do is we'll have 2 Naval Guard units used against Kuching. And that should be able to take it out. And then we should have Borneo in its entirety, which is nice. There's only Kuching over here now. Well, remember that the Far East Fleet will be reinforced soon unless you move heavy ships to the area. The thing is, it doesn't matter about heavy ships per se. What matters is aircraft. I mean, we lost the MKB. We're not going to get that capability back. But it is what it is. What we do instead is we use air bases, which we are building up. I could do again the air flotilla moved out of Palembang and shifted up here to Port Blair. The only reason why I haven't moved it as of yet is because, in all honesty, if I leave Palembang bare of a air HQ, then it could be potentially attacked by his British carriers, so we're not going to do that yet. I do have the 23rd Air Flotilla, which was previously at Kopang. I'm going to have that shifted up towards Port Blair. I considered having it moved into Java, but I think it's worthwhile getting a Air HQ moved up to Port Blair ASAP. But yeah, oh, there we go. Yeah, so that's excellent then. So that went super smooth, honestly. That went super, super smooth. There's no actual... yeah, that went really, really well, actually. I didn't think it'd go so well. But yeah, you take a look over here. This is what I wanted to do. So what I'm going to do now is have the tanks move back here to the north, move down here, move back in here. This tank unit's going to move in here, move back out. This unit's going to move in here, then move back out. What's its progress today? So regiment. Why is that taking so goddamn long to move? There's like major road here. It's clear terrain. I know it's moving into mountain, but I might not be able to do that. I might just have to hold that hex, to be honest. It might just simply be worthwhile holding that hex. So what I can do then is... why is that moving to Batavia from here? That doesn't make sense. Why did they go south? What? Okay. It must be due to the hex side control, but that's fine. That's worked out actually quite useful. So we're going to change that direction, because apparently that's ridiculous. So see, 1 unit down here, 1 unit down here, 8 units down here. Java is essentially a corpse at this moment in time. It's essentially a zombie. It's dead, but it doesn't know it's dead. Not yet. It's going to carry on fighting for the time being. Right. Ah, so we do see enemy units over here then. That's intriguing. And that's Jungle Rough. Right, go into combat mode. So you've just arrived today, and there's 1 unit here. I don't know what the strength of that unit is, but that is a regiment. No, sorry, that's a reconnaissance regiment. It's 30... no, sorry, it's 18 assault value. It's actually... it's the smaller one, I believe. I will have 16th reconnaissance regiment tomorrow. If it's on major, which is 36 AV, which is small. Now, we do have these units moving. I think they're marching to this hex anyway, which is actually pretty useful. So I think that's fine. I'd have to double check, really. So just complicate things. But in fairness, if you take a look over here, then we have 420 AV that's arrived. Sorry, obviously that's going to be moved out today. We have the coys here then. So we are unloading... Still unloading the 16th army. I can't believe that's taken as long. And the good news is we actually do have the army support here. So that's really, really bloody useful. I should probably move to that position there, but it'd be over before it's actually needed. Well, the good news is he can't march to the north here because we control that hex side on both sides. So he can't use that. He can't march here. Well, he can't retreat here. He can retreat here. And here right now. That hex has a unit in. Well, here, here, and here. No, actually, no, he can't retreat that one. So it's only here and here right now. Where he could retreat. Good news is we have the 2 regiments moving there. I might even go ahead and actually just use the torpedo boats just to move another unit here, because that worked out. Well, actually, no, you know what? I've got the bloody paratroopers, haven't I? I could literally just march the paratroopers in and that blocks off another hex side. So I could actually have them march in there. It'll take 2 days to march there, but then another 2... No, it's going to take longer actually, because that's secondary road. Bloody hate secondary road. I'll have them begin marching. Right, so we do have our 2 regiments over here now. We have 124th, we have 144th. 13, 16, 5, 7. Yep. We'll go ahead and we'll order a deliberate attack. And there we go, they have the plan in here. And I do have my naval guard units that look to be fully unloaded. Yep, they're fully good to go. That's excellent. This is it, there's a lot of AV. There's a lot of assault value that we've put ashore here. A lot of it. This gives us a good chance to actually attack his submarines, which is very nice. And his submarines haven't been bothering us elsewhere for the time being, which has been useful. It's been nice. Been a nice change. Okay. Yeah. So, let's take a look at the conditions of the troops. Of the troops, I should say. I could move the headquarters directly in there. 184 guns, 98 AFVs. The problem is he's going to have fortifications, which is a bit of an arse. It might be that we just take control of the hex sides around here and then attack. I don't have to attack this immediately. I'd be very happy if we got Batavia tomorrow. That's 247 AV. Should potentially reduce fortifications to some extent. He only has about 30 or so AV in there. So if we could actually just start to destroy squads, that'd be useful. Take his strength down. Yep, so they can return to their home base, to Oosthaven, and they can disband. We do have these DDs here. I'm going to continue to run them on ASW patrol because we do have an opportunity here to attack his subs, and that is a pretty nice opportunity to take advantage of. Right, these guys, yep, they took in the headquarters. They're moving to Singapore. I did take a bunch of these tankers over here actually, and I did load them up with fuel. I'd like to go ahead and have them shipped out of this area or potentially moved elsewhere. But I don't have that many actual patrol boats here at this moment in time. Right, take that base. Right, so we own this base. It says Dutch base, but it's ours. Oh yeah, because we attacked it today. Okay. Pick them up. Dot base there, so go take that. They're ready to move now. Nah, it's just really useful because it allows us to move quickly enough. And that's what I like. So I'm going to cancel the loading of the supplies here. Now, we do have RO-34, we do have I-23 here. We're going to have their... I think it's the aircraft that we want to actually change over. I can't remember what the... yeah, so we want to upgrade that aircraft to Jakes. I did decide to actually pull back the other RO boats because I just don't think it's worthwhile having them out there without some naval surge. I'd love to base them from elsewhere. The issue is we do need to interdict, well, just to hunt in these waters, but I'd like the longer range submarines. I can use the RO boats and other, there's the ROs and of like 6,000 or so endurance, and there's like one where it has about 8,000 or so endurance. I prefer the 8,000s with the longer range ones with the actual float planes, but I don't like them unless they actually have float planes, because it's just stumbling around in the dark. And eventually you'll run into something, but you just don't know when it is. You could be missing everything, you just never know. Either way. So if we take a look over here then, see 2 bombers now. He might be shifting them out, I'm not too sure. There's 4 bombers over here. I think I should be fairly safe to go ahead and move them coastally. Yeah, we'll do that. They do have 2 DDs as an escort, so I'm going to tell them to move coastal. What I'm going to do then is tell them to move. It's going to be a long move up to Port Blair, but we'll have them move up to Port Blair. Yep, move coastal. Home port, just make it Singapore then or whatever. It doesn't particularly matter, just as long as they stop nuttering on about fuel. But it might be worthwhile just to stop off in Singapore and have them loaded aboard other ships. I may just do that instead then. So those ships aren't particularly fast, are they? Yeah, 10 knots is pretty bloody slow. Refuel them later. No fuel here, sadly. Ah, is it because they're moving coastal, isn't it? What I'll do then is change that. Move direct, but what I'll do is I'll just place a waypoint. I can cap them anyway. They're still complaining, but it should be fine. Right. Ah, here we go. So I do have 18th JAF. We also have the 86th JAF AF Koi. So the good news is now I do have a couple aviation units that are moving into the area, which is useful. I'll probably have the battalion, the aviation battalion, deployed over here to Kopang. That should actually give us a little bit more AV out here, which is nice. Now, the Koi, probably, maybe on Lublin, or elsewhere on another base here. We haven't built any of these up as of yet. So I might just have the Koi deployed. Well, I might just have them both deployed here to Kopang, really. Oh, I do have another airbase here, so I might have the Koi deployed over here to Delhi. And it's base over here to Loudham. So what I could do then, I'd like to have that battalion then at Kopang, the 24 AV. What I might go ahead and do then is actually have that first JNF Koi deployed over here to one of these bases and the other Koi deployed over here, maybe. We do have range 5. So they're all within range. I'd like to have as many air bases as possible to be usable or viable, really. The Kois aren't large, but they're kind of like placeholders for the time being. What we'll do in the future is get more battalions down there. Okay. Do I attack here or do I not? I think I'll await the fatigue to drop. What I could go ahead and do then is have 16th Army. I think I might just march them into the actual mountain hex. It's on major road anyway. At least then their support would help them recover sooner rather than later. There we go. That's why they're not recovering. So I'm going to turn replacements on. In fairness, I should just focus it on the unit that needs it. So we'll go like that. Try and recover the strength for 113th. But we'll be able to take him. He lost a huge amount of AV over here on the beaches, so that's really nice. I do have the regiments marching down here. This is jungle versus mountain, so this is ×2, that's ×3. And there are 9 units there. We should be able to manage it. And once we clear Batavi, I'm going to have another regiment move south. We'll have 1 naval guard unit remain behind at Batavia, and I'll have another naval guard unit then freed up. The 100 and it? I think it's the 144th. Yep, I'm going to have moved back north, I believe. Though, in some ways it might be worthwhile just retaining them in Java. But I would like to have another division in Burma sooner rather than later. Though, saying that, the division still has its job to do out here. So I might just retain them in Java for the time being. We'll see which one comes first. I do need to demine Batavia. I do have DMSs ready to go ahead and do that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. He's moving here, but that's probably going to take a very long time considering it's jungle and there's no roads. We'll go ahead and double check then. So in jungle, infantry move at 5 miles a day. It's going to take a long time. I might even just bombard that unit just to make sure it reduces the damage that it could cause. I don't think it could cause any damage considering this unit has... it's not a huge amount of AV, but 13 AV is still better than no AV. And if he's low on supply, which he probably is, I don't imagine he's going to be faring well. But yeah, we're only one base out now from controlling all of Borneo. Besides that Hex, I do need to go ahead. I'll probably send the APD. I might even just... Yeah, I'm going to send the APD to go capture that. Oh, I can't move inland. Wow. That might be a case of having to do it via... Yeah, I might as well just capture these islands. What am I on about? Yeah, capture these islands. Just having that one. Might just have to drop a unit on that base then just to take it. Otherwise it'd be a bit of a pain. An interesting little base there. Okay. So in China, yep, there we are. That's what I love about these major roads. It's so useful. And you look at these units, hardly any disruption, fatigue so low, supply moves to them effortlessly. About as effortlessly as you can get. We'll attack tomorrow. And the excellent thing is, that is the last hex of wooded rough terrain. Oh, okay, so, right, that's good to see then. So it wasn't that I was actually moving units out there. I've actually gone ahead and actually told the reconnaissance to scout Xi'an. It wasn't that I was moving units out to Xi'an. It was just that our reconnaissance was just shocking from the actual aircraft doing it. So they were just giving false reports. So, is that clear terrain? I think it's clear terrain. I can't quite tell there sometimes. It looks like clear terrain. What I'm going to do though is order a deliberate attack. I want to push them back away from Wuchang. Now, if I take a look, so 15th are here. We do have the other elements of 15th now. One of them is going to be shipping out today. I'm going to have the 15th Division combined once again at Wuchang. I just want to reinforce Wuchang. Right, so 35th Division's in position now. We'll go ahead and deliver it. There we go. That army headquarters moving south. I'm going to have another army headquarters down here. In this area especially, because I will need them. Yep, they're recovering quickly enough. Let's see. Just the one unit here. I think what I'll do is have a division march and shock that unit. We've lost sight of these units over here, which does worry me to a degree. Oh, wasn't that unit had crossed? It's just we'd lost sight of it. Okay, so he's not moving. Yeah, we're in the hex now, so we'll deliver to attack that. What I'm going to do... Well, actually, I do need to remain in position here, so what I'm going to do then is remain in position. So I do not... He might retreat here. I should have kept that progress, but I doubt it. He'll retreat towards his closest base, which is to the north anyway. So I'll keep them as they are. I do have these tankers moving to Takao. And the reason being, well, it's a short distance run. I think it's worthwhile to pick it up. I mean, this is it. Takao is a size 4 port. Taihoku is a size 4 port. So I think what I might do is just set up a run from Taihoku to, like, Kagoshima. Nagasaki is not that much further, but I think I want to go as close to... Just keep it as short as possible. For that run at least. But I could let it fuel... But I could let it build up in Formosa for a while. And it's taking the fuel out from Hong Kong, so we have like a huge amount better Hong Kong. There's like 356,000 units of fuel. Like, we'll keep about 100,000 in Hong Kong, but I'd like to have... I'd like to have about 200,000 units of fuel moved into the home islands. That'd be quite nice, just to add to the stock that we have there. Right then. Still not seeing any movement, still not seeing an attack yet. I'm surprised he hasn't attacked, really. Considering that he could have broken out of that. But, okay, I'll take it. He likes to take it easy on us, apparently. Right, so fatigue's down to 28, 9, 14, 20. Yeah, you can see disruption's down. So we'll go ahead and order an attack today. Oh, yeah, there we go. So we have, yeah. But apparently he has moved aircraft back in here to Manila. I don't know why you would. I don't know, maybe he thought we were just going to hit the port and he might take advantage of that, but that's... It's an odd move to make, even... So we're still bombing the airfield, we just weren't bombing it as much. The funny thing is, though, we apparently hit a number of those aircraft in the airfield. So we're going to attack Manila. Is it size? Yeah, he's at level 2 fortifications. I don't know about cheeky torpedo strikes. I don't... There's not that much in the area to really hit. I mean, he could do it, I guess, but he doesn't have naval search. What air groups are involved in the Talagi? Fanni reports AV. I wonder if that's where the actual rest of his carriers are, then, because we do see these destroying escorts. It's strange, because I saw one of them in this area yesterday. Yeah, I know, but what I'm saying, BLeAcHACiD, is it's like he didn't have naval search beforehand. I don't think he's moved in there for a cheeky torpedo strikes. It's like, well, why didn't he do it in the times before? He had plenty of opportunity. He had escorts at points. He had more PBYs. He could have done it. He might yet do it. I just think it's daft. It's not going to work now anyway. Right, so the units that were involved. I don't know where we'd find... I don't think I see any identifying information here. Nothing that I can see there. In Talagi, yeah, I mean, this is it. Hitting the actual supply is problematic. The airbase isn't even that bad. He's not doing that much in the way of damage. He's very deliberate in his movements, but that's fine. If he wants to do that, that's fine. I mean, every day gives us another day to build up the airfield. We're 30% in there. We know, well, we're quite a few days out from being finished, but every day does bring us closer to being at a size 7 airfield, so I don't mind that. We do have more mines here now. I did actually go ahead and send the other mine layers down here to lay. I think I'll lay some mines potentially at lay, though I might wait until we have an ACM out that way. Or I might even wait until there is actual danger on its way. I'm looking forward to having a level 2 airfield over here in Hollandia. It'd be useful. Hollandia is a good transition base. There's actually a good aim. I mean, this is it. I've had this 124 aviation support here. I want to just go ahead and have a COI move there, then have that aviation battalion moved in this way. Something to bear in mind. But it serves an important purpose, but do we need it? I'm not too sure anymore. Right. So we do have 2 aviation battalions moving south now, which is good. They're headed towards the lay area, so at least we have those moving in. More aviation support would just be lovely. Absolutely lovely. We're building up Kaviang. Yeah, the more air bases we can have here, the better. Right, we're loaded up in Manus. I'm going to go ahead and take this base, then Madang. Take all the bases in the area, essentially. But it should allow supply to move along here, on the other side of New Guinea. I'm still amazed that these bases fell to our control. It apparently only has a 1 unit here at Moresby, which, okay. Not gonna mind. I mean, they're gonna run out of supplies shortly, but okay. We'll see how the situation develops. He hasn't... I mean, this is it. It's cheeky, but he knows he's well within his limits to do this. He knows it's well within his power to do so. He's hitting the supply, he's hitting the airfield. He's not causing a great amount of damage, but okay. He would probably imagine that the Kidapatai would be on its way, but it's not right now, because it's just not that, it's not a threat that deems Kidapatai at this moment in time. He laid a lot of mines here. I'm amazed that the actual coastal guns didn't do jack. Yeah, I mean, you'd think they would have done something, but they might not have had the range. I'm surprised, actually, because you'd think they'd come in, but then again, I suppose they came in at night, but I'm somewhat surprised. Wake Island's not going to be too far away now, either. We still have a regiment here, a truck to go take Wake. And the beauty is that each day gains additional preparation for Wake, which will come in really quite handy. We'll obviously run reconnaissance. We'll have our ASW established then, so we just need to have our reconnaissance then. He probably has pulled assets out of Wake, I'd imagine. But even if he's kept them there, it's like, okay. Will he have a submarines around there? I mean, I could do with actually deploying a DMS group out this way. A couple DMSs would go a long way in being quite useful out this far. But we have time for that. Right. Well, that's looking good. We're getting there. And in fairness, every day he dicks around down here is another day that we have to build the airfields up here. We're at 84 now, so not far from having a level 1 airfield there at Nadzab. Don't have aviation support, but I can still make use of it. I'll make sure we get aviation in here shortly. I'll always be able to know we're at 33 now. Lay's been fortified, we have mines on the way there. This is it, just makes everything a lot harder for them to come in and just annihilate again. They should be shifted out. Forgot about that. But if we take a look, Rabal, aviation support is actually there, which is nice. We have more aviation support than we require, which is something we don't often see. Let's take a look. I do need to go ahead and rest 2nd Air Division at some point. They have a lot of fatigue and disruption there. A lot of the units still have that fatigue and disruption, but then again, in fairness, as we build up the base, I can't recall, I can't remember what the actual size of the base is that you need to have with port and airfield combined. But we can't be too far away. Once we have it at a certain size, once we have it large enough, then Rabal will not be subject to cholera. Is it cholera? Malaria, not cholera. But it's probably not subject to cholera either. Probably would be. But you wouldn't at least get malaria. Right, paratroopers moving here. Okay. Yeah, 4th Division continues to recover. Just having those disabled units recovered. Also, we have less support now, so they're not going to recover as quickly. But they're in a very large built-up base. There's plenty of supply here. There's really no problem. British support actually being offered by these base forces here, which is useful. Base force, not base forces. Would be nice. Then up to 93. I think they were only about 80 the other day. Can't recall, actually. They are recovering, though. I do have these naval construction units I do want to have shifted out. I just need to figure out where I want them. Probably might build these islands up to some degree. Right, Port Blair. 40% there to level 2. 58 engineers. It's not a huge amount of engineers. I might go ahead and actually have those naval construction units moved out to Port Blair. Having Port Blair built up is really quite useful. You take a look over here, we're looking at 2219. If we had H6K4s, that would be the limit of our naval torpedo range, which is useful. 17 is the G4M1 range. That's something he's going to have to bear in mind. So we need to get Port Blair built up, we need to get the actual aviation moved in there. I mean, what I might go ahead and actually do then is rather than move that flotilla unloaded at Singapore and move it up, I might go ahead and just move it into Palembang and just have the Palembang HQ moved up, which is probably easier to organize. I could probably do it faster as well. I'll try and time it well so we don't have a gap in coverage. But we seem alright for the time being. Yeah, so that there's a unit here. I don't know what the strength of that unit is, which concerns me, but we'll figure that out shortly. You're running reconnaissance of Batavia. I don't think I'm particularly much needed. We know what's in Batavia. Detection level helps, but I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. But this information here would be useful just so we know what we're actually going up against. Right. I'm just going to run reconnaissance over each of these bases and we can get an idea of how much force is actually in them. Okay. 501010 1001, which is that one. Okay. Do have the Babs here. They're in reconnaissance on that base, which is fine. Yeah, I mean, if I take a look over here, it apparently has a light cruiser in there. Is that where that light cruiser went then? That's interesting. That is actually pretty intriguing. Okay. Right, rebuild this unit then. So we do have a 77% die here, which is probably overkill at this point in time, really. But the excellent thing is I actually do have that close range cap, which we have been really desperate for. So if I take a look at the G4M1s over here at Vardua. Yeah, they're recovering quite nicely. We'll have them shifted up soon enough. If I take a look then, so let's say this position here. That's 12 from Rabal. 14 hexes is the range at which I could strike with 0 escorts. That's 14 from Rabal. 17 from Ley. See, that's the thing there. I could potentially have G4M1s based at Ley, and in theory they would be able to coordinate strikes. They're probably not doing very well due to the fact that they're obviously distant. Different classes of different models of aircraft. But in theory they could coordinate. Yeah, they could have a range coincide together. Ah, there we go. We have arrived here. Excellent news. Right. So we do see these units here. Those are the... I'm pretty damn sure those are the units that we've beaten up pretty much continuously. So, I could shock attack that. I think I will shock attack that. Be worthwhile doing. Right. Yep, they'll close in tomorrow, so we'll have another 109 assault value there. So we'll shock attack then with... yeah, about 1,150 assault value-ish. And it looks like there is a base here. Looks like a dot base. I can't see it right now, but I think there is a dot base there. So that'd give us the rail line. Once we clear this guy out, which should be excellent. Closing in. I think what I'm going to do is have them march in combat mode. The reason being I want to keep them in these hexes longer, so the enemy can't retreat. That army is going to remain in this position here then. I just want to make sure I block these hexes and force him back across here. I don't think he would retreat to the south, but I don't want to take that chance. So he might draw supply down this way, who knows, but I don't want to take that chance. We don't see his forces moving over here to Yan'an. He's really given us a really nice break. I think personally he's doing it just because it's just quicker to get the turns done. And I think that's what he wants, is to actually get to the future, not just linger here. So I kicked one unit out. There's a unit here. It's probably the army headquarters, actually. It's all useful, though. It's all victory points, which helps us out, too. 401 assault value. I'll let that disruption recover somewhat. Right, I do have the 11th army here. They are within one hex, so it does actually help to influence the results of these battles. So that's quite good. Okay, I have 34th Division here. I'm going to go ahead and order a deliberate attack. 3 units here. And this is it. The good news is, once we deal with these units over here, deal with that unit, there's not that much that we have to worry about. That unit's over here, but I don't think it's causing me anything. Right, okay, so that regiment needs to head back south. Okay. Ran the replay for both days. Units and attacks were VS6, VV6, which start on the Enterprise. Fighters that strafed yesterday was VMF 211. Interesting, so it's a different carrier. So is he cycling them to recover fatigue, I'd imagine? Probably more fighters. It's interesting that he's actually escorting them. He doesn't actually do that too often. Right, 15% here. 42% here. These are general defense bases as well now. Oh, that is a marine unit that strafed us of Wake. Ah, okay. Right, what's the distance from the carriers? 19 hexes, let's see. He would move about 9 hexes if he did decide. So we're 10 hexes out from Rabal. His strike distance is about 6 if I'm correct. I think it's about 6 from... So he's 7 hexes here from Talagi. So he might be running extended. Just contemplating whether it's actually worthwhile giving the Zeros that time to rest. But then again, they are gaining importance. I mean, they're gaining skills each and every turn. Their fatigue's not even that bad, really. We could put additional replacements in here, so we'll have to bear that in mind. Just need to have the pilots actually to fly said aircraft. 31 pilots in here. 3 days until they can take replacements. Yeah, they're gaining important experience. 12 fatigue's not bad. Just hold on as long as we can. I mean, every day that we get to build up the airfield is better. Every day we get to train our pilots is better. It'll come in handy. We do have an additional BBs out here now too, which is good. So we do have the battleship Yamashiro and Fuso, which to be honest I'm really quite glad of. They are battle wagons, they are battleships. They have the armor there. I mean, that's 300 mil of belt, 145 deck, 300 tower. And the reason why I'm glad of these guys is we have been at a decided disadvantage in terms of actual surface combatant forces in the area. He's had a lot of heavy cruisers, a whole hell of a lot. It does make me wonder if potentially it could be worthwhile. In the future, once we have more cap, is potentially having those... maybe having those BBs potentially linger around Rabal. Probably not worthwhile, but it's one potential usage for them, but I don't think it's worthwhile having them there just because the risk would be just too great. Heavy cruisers would be good for that, but the issue is I don't have as many heavy cruisers out this way. I think to be honest what I'm probably going to do then is actually take the 2 heavy cruisers out here from Singapore, have them sent out this way really. Have them merged into Kitapatai. I kind of want to just be running with Kitapatai with cruisers, but the battleships are great just because it does help to actually level the amount of force. Yeah, the differences in force, really. Kitakami does need to move out. Isakazi does need to be moved out. Okay, Hiru's fully repaired. Soru's fully repaired. Akagi's fully repaired. Zuikaku's almost fully repaired, and then it's just down to Shokaku. Kaga's got 2 engine damage. Well, yeah, I know, but what I mean is, like, we don't have that much in the way of heavy cruisers. I'm not gaining anything from the 2 heavy cruisers out at Singapore. The BBs are great, and I do have the fast BBs, but I'd like to have... I'd like to have a greater surface complement. An import right now. We have Ashigara. We do have Furataka, which is returning to truck. The others I think are in repair, aren't they? So we do have Tone, we do have Chikuma. So we'd have 4 heavy cruisers. I would prefer to have more than that. We do have the fast BBs, which is useful. So we have Hiei, Kirishima. We'll have Haruna, which will give us 3. Eventually... No, it's Congo that's headed out. Haruna's in board, then repairing. Yeah. 39 days. We do have a good number of actual surface assets. I just want to make sure we have enough heavy cruisers with the Kitapatai. It's plenty nice to have the BBs here, the actual slower BBs. They're not that slow. They do make 15 crews. It's just the fact that they can't make that top speed like these guys can. Like, they both cruise 15. She has a little bit of engine damage I'd love to repair there. So I could possibly put her with the repair ship. Issue, she'd have to be stood down to do so, and it's not worthwhile doing so at this moment in time. Considering I think it would take about 3 days to probably work her back up into service. Yeah, so we have Nagato, we have Musu, Fuso, Yoshiro, Hyuga. So we have 5 of those bad boys, which is excellent. With a decent complement of destroyers, they are going to be quite effective. It's just they don't have that top speed that we need, so it slows down. I tell you what, I'm looking forward to having the conversions. People are gonna hate it, but I tell you what, I just I don't know. It's I don't know. I'd love to try it out. It's kind of crazy, like. But I mean, it can carry 22 aircraft. Obviously, it's only float planes, and I think it's only reconnaissance float planes. I don't know if it can carry the float fighters. If it could carry float fighters, it'd be awesome, but I don't think it can. I think it's only the float planes. But even then, that could still be somewhat useful. Who knows? Psst. I don't know. It's probably not worthwhile doing, but it'd be intriguing. Yeah, the issue is, it just doesn't have that much in AA. It says 1,000 AA, but that's bullshit. We've got these 12.7s here, but they're not dual purpose. But I mean, that's 1943 October. By the point in time that that'd even come into consideration, it's far too late, really. Yeah, I mean, this is it. It's hard to say no to the actual Fuso over here in that sort of time frame. And then October would be the conversion, which would take over 100 days. It's just not worthwhile. I'd love to see it. If it was actually available sooner, it'd be nice. I could potentially consider it. But yeah, just not worthwhile. I'm going to look at December 43. We have this upgrade here. And we actually do have the 12.7s become dual purpose. They're actually worth something there. These 15s are not dual purpose. I'd rather have more 12.7 joules. But that's that. How you doing there, Just? Good to have you, my man. Yeah, should I get some one upgrade? Well, I'm not too far from the end. It's just gone about 12 PM here. So we'll just finish what we're doing and then you'll be able to watch the replay. Frankly, it's probably quicker to do it like that. I think if you go ahead and actually click onto my Twitch channel, I think if you go to videos, I think if you click the video that is there, I think you can watch it from the beginning. Yeah. Okay. I may go ahead and launch the 18th at Rangoon. It might be worthwhile just march them in there. Yeah, there you go, just as you said. Yeah, it's a good suggestion. I think I might go ahead and march the 18th in there. Do I move them in combat mode? They might get bombed anyway and be forced into combat mode. But it'll be about 400... I think it's a full-size division. Yeah, I think it does have its entire TOE when it arrives. Some of it is disabled. We do have another division, so I might as well get marched in there. And the beauty is, it's like the Urban Light, the actual ×2 actually does serve to benefit us then. Ah, right, I see. Is that because it's sufficiently far behind in time then? Now, if we take a look, we do have a major road here. I do wonder why they're taking so long to actually march then. It's odd that they've only marched 8 miles. Is that due to fatigue? Even though, even then, it's still surprising. Right, we have... that's a large amount of units here. This is it, we have the AA here. Okay. He sent an email saying, "Ooh, cheeky bastard, I didn't see that coming." But the thing is, he does it in such a way as to make you think, yeah, he probably saw it coming. But I don't know, I think he's a jammy git sometimes. He's got such incredible luck sometimes. Pretty crazy like that. Okay. Yeah, so we have the attack on Manila ordered tomorrow. We've got the damage I need. Let's go ahead and double check on the ops. Yeah, Zambo Anger's a pain in the arse. I'm going to have to go ahead and sort something out there. Right, Midway Island expands port size to 2. Adelaide. Is that Oz or is that Alaska? I can't remember which one it is. It feels like Australia. Port Augusta expands to size 3. You can't go what Port Augusta is right now. Busy day then. As you can see that these units have been renamed to 51st, 57th, 55th, 61st. Right, okay. So this is actually the point of time where the Japanese do reorganize their forces. Adelaide is in Oz, yeah, I thought it was. Yeah, well that's it, isn't it? 65th Naval Guard Unit arrives in Tokyo, which is good. We do have the 205th JAF AF Battalion here at Changchun. Right. Midway is an interesting one, seeing the port expand there. He could build the port up to size 3. He could probably build it another size. He could maybe build it to size 4. It's not even a maybe. He has the assets to do it. He probably will. He's probably doing it to support and push in the centre. I imagine he's going to be banking on holding on to Midway. Sorry, holding on to Wake. We do need to take Wake in the near future. But I imagine he's probably building it up because, well, it's doable and good for him. Every base built up is a good base for him to use. Okay. How do we go here at Lublin? 31% there. We are closing in. Once it's a hazard, twice it's coincidence, 3 times it's a traitor. I like that. No, looking good. Right, so I do have these units moving in here. This battalion has arrived here today. Moving these guys to Victoria Point. What's the road like to Victoria Point? Is it secondary? Oh, it's half major, half secondary, so they'll be there in about like 3 days or so. Yep. The good news about this is I do have these DMSs. I could probably do a transfer a DMS group elsewhere. Probably longer range ones, like the 4,000 endurance ones would be nice. Oh, I can actually go ahead and upgrade. I forgot about that. How long will that take? I forgot it tells you now. Delay, isn't it? Yeah, oh, there we go. 5 days. I think would be the time, but what do I actually gain from that? So I have improved depth charges, 25s. Guns are dual purpose, which sucks. I'd like to have a dual purpose guns. So it looks like we're just getting a little bit more ASW capability, which, okay, I guess. The next upgrade, more AA. Another depth charge. Still not dual purpose, which sucks. We do lose a 12 centimeter. We gain these shitty 25s. Just make these dual purpose. Gain radar. Still not dual purpose. Yeah, not exactly amazing. Yeah, okay. The first upgrade's about as good as they get. Right, supply here then. So send free supply right now. 5,257 supply. 428 supply. Yeah, the beauty is, like, once it gets over here to Mulmian, but it moves across via the rail, it moves across very quickly then. So we have a supply that's being forced directly into here now, which is good news. Okay. Okay, we'll call it about that, so thank you very much for watching there, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you've enjoyed this. It's been an interesting turn. It's been fairly quiet. It's interesting what he's doing regarding the carriers. He's not daft. He knows he's reducing to Largy. He knows by hitting the actual airfield supply, he'll kill the base of supply. It does limit me, as I don't have a base I could potentially use to respond to him. But in fairness, I don't need the actual airfield. I do need the supply, but we'll live without it. We'll probably have to transfer those aircraft out there, from there. But while they are there, it's worthwhile. The base what we took with the paratroopers, and it's still ours, which is good, so we have Hexide control there. What I'll probably do is maybe have like a unit flown out there at a later date and have it marched into Rangoon to take control of that Hexide. But we're going to have the 18th Division we can march on Rangoon today. We'll have another division arrive at Bagoo late tomorrow. But that's it, it's good news. It's good news. We'll have a third division then, shortly thereafter. Where's the third one? We need to load it up here then. Yeah, so I do have the actual amphibious assets here. Ribald, Deftalagi. That's not the end of the offensive, we're only in February 2nd. You gotta think, it's like if we were playing against a lesser player, obviously we'd be taking more islands. But the thing is, well, we do have carriers to deal with down here. There's not that much in the Central Pacific that's worth taking. Wake we do have to prepare for in a special way to make sure we can take it, but it's good to know that apparently the bodyguards aren't there anymore. But I did have designs in mind for New Caledonia, which is why we have this island. But while there are carriers here, I can't particularly advance easily. We have these bases. We'll have Moresby soon enough. I just need to have recovered that. Yeah, it's going well enough. No, Dadman's a really good player. He's significantly better than I am. He's had years of experience. Which is why we're seeing him not moving land units. It's not because he doesn't know how to. It's not because he doesn't... Well, he knows how. He knows how to fight. It's just I just don't think he's bothered. I don't blame him, really. Okay. Yep, we'll call it about that. And so until next time, thank you for watching. I assume it's I shall see you in the future. If you have enjoyed this, please do subscribe and follow me here on Twitch. It would be much appreciated. A good old Twitch subscription would be appreciated as well. Thank you to all of those who have done so far. But if you do have Amazon Prime, you do get a free Twitch Prime subscription, and I would very much appreciate that support. It doesn't cost you anything, but it helps to support myself as a content creator. Until next time, thank you and goodbye.